crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and it is Sunday afternoon in cloudy, rainy, kind of crazy Arizona. Not sure what's going on today. It's been overcast most of the day. It's been rainy on and off today, which we always need the rain, but crazy enough, it's not been rain. It just sprinkles and spits for a little bit. You can open the door and just, I mean, it's like, wow, it smells like fresh rain. And then you go outside and it's like, nothing. I mean, just enough to, I guess, dampen down a little bit of the dust and stuff that we deal with. So I don't know, just kind of crazy. So I hope you all have had an amazing weekend. Sorry, I am just trying to get myself pulled together. It's this past week at work was just off the hook. To say that it was busy and crazy would absolutely be an understatement. It was just, I don't know, it was just beyond wild. So, anyways, so let's see who's on. Brian was first in tonight. Welcome in, Brian. Thanks for being here this afternoon. I managed finally Thursday, I think, to get all the gifts and prizes from the holiday quilting bee put in the mail and out. So hopefully you'll see those start arriving next week because the post office mailman picked them up on Friday from me. So they are in the mail and out and on their way. Jeannie's here. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Jackie. Hey, Barb. Thanks for being in this afternoon. There's my friend Joydy. Welcome, Joydy. I laughed thinking about you today. We bought a new bookshelf. We got the bookshelf put up because John's been buying some, I just can't find it anywhere. So I like that 60-inch fabric. So I buy a lot of the 108s to do my backings for, when I'm putting them on the long arms. But that 60-inch is nice sometimes for smaller things like tabletop, table runners and different things, and still not having to piece or use such a big swat of the 42-inch. So I actually bought a new bookshelf to help accommodate some of the bolts. And as I was yet rearranging again and moving stuff, I thought Jody would be so happy to sit here and help us sort all this out and just go, wow, this poor guy, no wonder he just shakes his head all the time. And then I say that, and yet I watched Matthew on Mr. Domestic yesterday and ended up buying another mid-century Christmas kit. So it's a mid-century tree. It was really just cool, and it's in all the non-traditional Christmas colors. And I was like, I need another kit, like I need a hole in my head. But yep, bought it anyways. Hey, Charlotte, welcome in. Thanks for being here. There's Miss Sally. Always excited to see Sally on. Jen, welcome in. There's Mr. Russ. Thanks for being on this afternoon. Jean, Mama Jan's here. Mama Jan just came and picked up fresh veggies. So my partner went to Our Garden this morning. We call it Our Garden because I do occasionally go up and look at it. And I did have quite a bit of an opinion on what fruits and vegetables got planted. But we won't go there. We have tomatoes now that are coming in, but it's funny, our tomatoes are still not getting a lot of size to them. And just as they're starting to really turn a good red, they want to go spoil quick. So still trying to figure that out. I think we've got 2 varieties that are coming in right now. So he picked tomatoes this morning. We picked zucchini this morning. Lord have mercy. I don't know that I'll ever plant zucchini again. We have a plethora of zucchini. We've got that, and then yellow squash, which I love yellow squash. So I'm going to make that with grilled chicken and that tomorrow in a Reynolds wrap bag. But Mama Jan came and picked up some vegetables too. And I had already taken some of the neighbors' vegetables as well. And I took one of the neighbors' vegetables, and she goes, oh, I've been buying vegetables over at this other place. And she said, I'm here. Let me send you home with a jar of pickled beets. So I have fresh pickled beets in the fridge. And then she sent me a nice Ziploc bag full of fresh green beans. So in the next few weeks, we'll have fresh green beans. So it's nice to live in a neighborhood where all the neighbors get along. We like each other. We're willing to share and trade back and forth and watch out for one another and just think of how much simpler times actually were. Hey, Katrina, thanks for being on this afternoon. There's Zaza. Welcome in, Zaza. Miss Judy's here. She says it's hot here. I think it's hot here even. It's overcast, so it's not as bad, but let's see what we hit today. No, see, we only got to 86, and now it says it's pouring down rain, but I don't think it is. Right now it's 77. So yeah, we didn't get that hot today. We're gonna be in the 80s most of the week, it looks like. But by next weekend we'll be back up to triple digits. So no fear. It's not um, the cool weather doesn't hang around here very long. So it's all good. I appreciate that because I like the utility company that I have to pay. I like the fact that I get to save a little money occasionally because they're a for profit, and let me tell you, they make plenty of profit off of my two residents. Balloonist is here from Tucson. Welcome in. She said they're getting a sprinkling in Tucson. I still want to make a trip to Tucson this summer. We got to figure out how to make that happen. Jackie's here. Everything the cooler weather. Tempe had a hard rain for about 15 minutes. Yeah, that's the thing. It reminds me, the rains here typically remind me of Florida rains where it just comes in and just dumps for like 10 or 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's so hot and humid and just nasty and dries up. We don't get quite the humidity, but we do after a rain. But yeah, it's most of our rains are usually pretty quick, although the iPhone's trying to tell me it's going to rain for the next hour, so we'll see. Mm. Danielle's here, my buddy Danielle. She was such a sweetheart to jump on with me last Monday. Hopefully, you got to be part of the holiday quilting bee. She's such a delight, and it was nice to have her with me. She says, John, everyone chat. I'm relaxing doing EPP hexagons while watching from my patio. Puppies are playing in their outdoor playpen. That sounds like the life, doesn't it? And I think it's cute that she thinks paper piecing hexagons are relaxing. So we all have our calling now, don't we? And who else? Candace is here. Thanks for being here, Candace. BBMK is on. Look at her. She hasn't been on a live for a while. She's probably enjoying some overcast weather down in Phoenix. Who else? Wow, y'all have been busy. Goodness gracious. Judy. Hey, Judy. Hey, thanks for being on this afternoon. Thanks for being here. Got to see so many folks yesterday. I went to Quilt Club. They actually, so we have a big window in the quilt room that they rotate monthly. This month for June. My God, it's June. Can you all explain how June got here all of a sudden? Um, anyways, AccuQuilt has the window for this month, and Mama Jan's in charge because Mama Jan's always in charge, whether she is in charge or not. Mama Jan's always in charge. Had asked if I bring down the purple AccuQuilt piece that I had just done, the wall hanging. So it was fun to get to take that down and get to see something that was close to being done the way it should be hung and put on the wall. Because let me tell you, the women in the quilt club that I belong to are dynamic women, and you've got stiff competition. I mean, these women have done it for years, and they know exactly what they're doing. So the fact that I'm able to hang anything among them is pretty honorable. Who else? Let's see. Patricia's on. Hey, Patricia, thanks for being here this afternoon. Katrina's here. She said, I got my brother-in-law's t-shirt quilt mailed off with a Merry Christmas card. There you go. Christmas in July is coming next month. So, we are getting there slowly, but we are getting there. I don't like to even think we're getting there slowly. I hate to think that the year is like half over. I mean, do you realize in 24 days, it'll be 6 months until Christmas? Like, oh my God, just blows my mind. Just too much going on. Jody says, John, just put my name on the shelf and start stacking my fabrics on it. She is such a sweetheart. I wish next time I'm East Coast, I could bump into Joydy. She is such a blessing. Danielle, hi Sally, Joydy, hi Russ Jean, Patricia. All right, I think I'm getting caught up. Uh, Joydy says, "I'll share with you, Sally." I tell you what, it wouldn't be so bad if I could just stop myself, right? But it's like, oh my gosh, like really, I can't believe that I ended up doing that. But I did, so it is what it is. That's what I get for watching YouTube. I need to stay off the YouTube, but I learned so much on the YouTube that I just can't help myself. Danielle says, I'll claim a shelf at John's too. John, you're going to need another shelf unit. Danielle's just coming down to borrow the gnome AccuQuilt die. I know what she's looking for. Zaza says, we are only just planting these things in the greenhouses. Never mind getting veg from them. Tell you what, it's I was surprised. Like all our lettuce is dead and gone, so we don't have lettuce. We did get lots of onions because the guy that had the plots before us planted tons of onions. So I got lots and lots of onions. Um, but the broccoli went straight to seed for some reason. So it never bloomed and came like it should. It just went straight to seed. So that was real disappointing. We did get strawberries today. I've got probably about a half a cup, three-quarters of a cup of fresh homegrown strawberries. So actually tonight we made because you know me, I've got the Ninja Creamy, so I'd already bought strawberries to make strawberry ice cream. So my partner made that this morning and froze it. Even though it's supposed to be 24 hours, we're hoping it'll be frozen enough after dinner tonight that we can have some strawberry ice cream with fresh strawberries on top. So it'll be a combination of both. Trina says it's overcast there. I think it's the sandstorm from Africa. I tell you what, I am so tired. When I was putting that shelf unit up today and moving stuff around, it's like every time I touch something and move it, I just find more dust. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Because like today, I needed to. I do all the laundry on Fridays when I work from home because I'm able to shuffle back and forth and get the laundry done. I ended up doing all the sheets and changing out all the bedding because I like to do that. Really like to do it once a week. So I did all of that on Friday. But like today, I was like, floors have got to be vacuumed, the bathrooms have got to be cleaned, and we got to scrub the floors. So he was a sweetheart and did all the floors for me. I ended up scrubbing down the bathrooms and that. But then when I started moving stuff in the other room, I was like, oh my God, there's more dust in that we have to move. So we got some more stuff moved. Zaza says, only 86. How terrible. I love the definition of cool. It is so funny when you live across different parts of the country. It is amazing how we readjust our thermostat, right? Sally said it was 90 yesterday, cooler today. Thank goodness. Mm-mm-mm. Else. Siberian Wind is here. Welcome in. Thanks for jumping on this evening. Oh, Katie's on. I love Miss Katie. I got to catch Katie live the other day. I haven't been able to catch her very often. Skips into the channel waving hello to everybody. Oh, look at her. I love her personality. She has such a cute personality. We need to have Katie on here sometime. I've actually got about 4 different people that I reached out to about joining me. We'll probably do that after I get back from vacation because in 12 days, John is going to be in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I get there on Friday. The kids, grandkids, my daughter, and all that comes down on Saturday. So that'll be cool. And then little Miss Ava Lynn will be wanting to do her live on Sunday. So it's nice that she allows me to have the channel when she's not here. But so that Sunday will be live with little Miss Ava Lynn, but it'll probably be a short live because I really plan not to go to the quilt store at Myrtle Beach this year because I spent like $400 last year and I still haven't done the stuff I bought at that quilt store. So we'll see. Lord only knows. Joanne G's here. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. See what it has been busy. All right. I think I'm getting caught up on chat. I think that's why Danielle keeps going. You need a moderator. Oh my goodness. Oh, Katie says I went to sea because it was too warm. That's so frustrating. See, that's the problem because we were just getting when we got the garden, it was still cold here, what we consider cold. Um, but by the time we got everything in, it's just too crazy. We'll figure it out. Jody says I can help you stop. Just give me your cash, your credit cards, your cell phone, and all your keys. Tell you, it's just crazy. But that's why I go to work still work full time, so I can have the things I want. Zaza says strawberries have yet to come into season. Scottish strawberries are the best thanks to long daylight hours. Oh, that would be interesting. I so badly want to go to Scotland, Ireland, Great Britain, just that whole area, especially now that I've gotten so hooked on Harry Potter. I now have watched the Harry Potter movie, the first one 3 times, and I've read the book or listened to the book on audio. I just finished the second book. Now I'm on the third one. So we're rewatching them. But I so badly want to go to Chicago to the new Harry Potter store. But then my daughter called me yesterday and she said, you keep saying you want to go to Disney World with the grandkids and that. And she said, but our neighbors just took their tax return. They just got back from Disney World and they are not Disney World, but they went to Orlando and actually spent, I think, 2 days at Universal, but literally a day at Harry Potter. And she said that it was like being in the movie. It was so miraculous, and that they did Legoland, and that her kids just absolutely love Legoland. And she said she thinks they liked Legoland better than they did um, Disney. I think when they did that a year or two ago. So I don't know what we're going to end up doing. I do want to take her there and see what's going on. Sally says you live in the desert. That's just normal. I know, it's just so crazy. It's things that you still get used to. Katie says tonight is the night for people to get outside, see the northern lights. If skies are clear, they will be visible all the northern states, Canada, and Greenland, and a few other places. Huh. I'm sure we'll see that on the news. She said homemade strawberry ice cream looks like a really artificial bright pink color. I know it is just and the taste and the flavor when you're making it with your own heavy cream. We just use cane sugar. I do use a little bit of Karo and I think vanilla extract. That's like the whole recipe. And it's a really simple recipe, but it makes up so cool. It's just so amazing. Siberian says it's been a while since they could be here. I know. I thought it had been a long time since I'd seen that name pop up, but thanks for being here. Uh, Katie says she'd be happy to join me. See, Katie's a sweetheart too. I'm so lucky to have the YouTube family that I do. Who else? He said, we have barbecue chicken with steamed broccoli tonight, so I have a look of satisfaction right now. And you are awesome, girl. I tell you, we had for lunch today because someone's making a special beef dish for me for dinner tonight. And I ate breakfast late. He ate breakfast before me. Anyway, so for lunch today, that turned out to be a plate full of steak fries. So I just didn't feel like making burgers and that today because I wanted to get stuff done. Oh, and I want to show you what I got done. All right, let me get caught up. Keep thinking I'm gonna get caught up, but y'all just chatty chat chat. Katie says we need to have some jabber time. Yes, we do. Mama Jan says, what time should I show up for ice cream? Oh, isn't she a sweetheart? We probably do need to have her over for ice cream sometime. But it's not tonight, but we do need to have her sometime. So believe it or not, guys, I know you will be shocked. I actually got my um, quilt done. This thing turned out a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I never can find the top of this because if you don't hold it just right, then your stars look all crooked. I ended up, because Mama Jan just stayed on me, I ended up putting it on the I cut the stars out of the AccuQuilt, but then I downloaded the software and ended up letting Herbert, my Husqvarna Epic, do the stitching, so I didn't have to worry about it. But look, this thing is giant, but I got all the borders on. Let me figure out. Sorry, I don't have a lot of room back here. How cool is that? Come on. But I am so happy with the way this turned out. I am thrilled with the colors, with the fabrics that I picked in that. This really did sew up pretty well. It just, it took so long. And then, but I got this one knocked out. I got the purple one knocked out from that I was working on too. So I am so thrilled to have this done. And so now it can be the 24th quilt that needs to sit over in the basket to go on the long arm. And eventually we'll get there. But I don't really have many patriotic quilts, so it's kind of exciting to have this. Now, we end up keeping it or what. My partner thinks it's the best looking quilt I've done in a long time. He really, really likes this quilt. So I have a feeling this is going to be a John's quilt. We're not going to end up giving this one away, but and that's fine, right? I should be able to keep some of the quilts that I work on. So sorry, guys, didn't mean to run off camera for a second. Um, I'm really happy to get that done and have that going. Um, so it's been a very productive weekend. The next thing I want to work on is getting this quilted so I can end up getting that. So I can get this quilted, so I can get it trimmed, so then I can start working on all this binding stuff. I did end up buying the Juki foot um, that Chris was telling me about from Rose City Originals. So it's a compensating foot, and he does a 2.5-inch binding, and he binds from back to front, but then he uses this to help him get that edge down on the front and make it look clean in that. So I do want to try that. So I'm going to play with that and we'll have to figure it out. I bought that for this Juki. At some point, Hercules over here may end up getting that foot as well. But we'll see. Right now, Jake is, for the most part, been cooperating with me. I did figure out that I changed needle size and changed needles yesterday because Jake started giving me problems again, and him and I had some words. And then I ended up changing needle sizes out, and he seems to be much, much happier. So thank you guys. I am really happy with the way that turned out. Like I said, I don't have that many patriotic quilts, so it's exciting. So now I've got the Quilt of Valor that I did Veterans Day. I've got this one. So I am starting to build up. Now I got to figure out how to quilt the crazy thing. And I may just do a free motion on the long arm because I don't want to necessarily quilt right through all those stars, but I don't know that I want to work around all those stars. So we'll have to figure out what's going on there. So thank you all very much. That means a lot. I do appreciate it. Salva says you have a month to get it quilted for the 4th of July. Girlfriend, tell me about it. Oh, she says, I used that foot on my Juki. It was a game changer. Thanks, Judy. I appreciate that. I just heard Chris talk about it the other day. I think he believes it's a game changer. I have learned now to cut my binding. I cut it on the AccuQuilt. And unlike what Russ says, where he says John has a ton of AccuQuilt dies, I don't think I have a ton, but I do have a pretty healthy inventory. But I've been cutting my strips, the 2.5-inch strips on the AccuQuilt. I did learn from Pam Heller on how to cut the bias for the strips and how to sew them together. I'm really happy with the way that's working, and I think giving me such a cleaner binding now. So that makes it even nicer. So she cuts everything on the bias and the angles, and then you come back and you cut it on the, you sew it together. Come on, where's one that is on here? I left this out because I thought I might actually try to iron this while we were on tonight. So so when you put the bias together, and then she presses her seams open before she goes into actually, fold it and get it going. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure what I'm going to work on tonight. Lord, we're already 25 minutes into it. My mouth's still going. And I'm still not done. Um, And he says you could do an outline on the stars and then quilt the rest of the quilt a step every time. Yeah, that's what I just got to figure out, because the quilt that I did for my daughter with the AccuQuilt beehive and all that, ended up, I sent it down and had one of the neighbors do it, which was great. We left that area specifically open, and then I went back in on Jake here and added some random stitching around it, just to make sure that it would hold up. Katie says, I have a patriotic quilt top I was working on and put it away because I'm not feeling it right now. I get that. I really do. It's crazy. I've been working on Christmas stuff, which is, I don't know why all of a sudden I just became in a Christmas mood. And then Danielle started it all with, she wants us to do a Halloween thing now. And it's like, oh my God, now I want to switch back to Halloween because I've already, yeah. So we'll see. Again, squirrel. Mama Jan says you did a fabulous job on the quilt and your stars came out perfect. You made me proud. See, she's helped me so much, guys. She's not only just a supporter, but she's been such a good mentor to help me get there. Danielle says, John, do us content creators really truly actually get stuff finished on a stream when we love talking? Amen, girlfriend. I tell you. And that's what's crazy, because I've got this. Slide over here and grab it. I've got this cut out, and I've got all of the pieces done. It's for an AccuQuilt project. I got everything cut. I labeled some stuff A and B. Now I don't know where I put the pattern, and I don't know what pattern that is. So now I have all this stuff cut, and I can't remember what pattern it is. So it's like, so now I got to figure that out. But I will. And then I still got all of this, and I still got the silly kitty cat quilt I want to get done for a Christmas gift that Russ ran to the store, bought and cut it and sewed it, and I think he's even got it quilted. It's like, oh man, dude, you're killing me. Sally says, I get putting a project aside. If I'm not feeling it, I make mistakes. Yep, I will tell you, I am exactly the same. And I think that's why I've learned to kind of rotate through some projects. So, like today, I've wrestled and fought that big thing all day, putting the borders and the sashing and that on. That, oh, sorry. Not sure I'm into the mood to do more today. So, next thing coming up, holiday quilting bee. So I have been looking, trying to figure out what I want to do for the holiday quilting bee. I definitely want to do something different. Since it's July, to me, it's got to be Christmas in July. So what I found, and I need to read through the pattern again. I really wanted to find a free pattern because it's fine that we do Villa Rosa and we spend a couple of bucks and we can download it and that, but it would be nice to find some free patterns. So I actually found these through the American Patchwork and Quilting magazine, and the website that these were on is called allpeoplequilt.com, and this one is called Project Yule Log. And I really like it. I think I need to read through the instructions again because I want to make sure I understand the instructions. But it's just a table runner, but it's kind of like a modified log cabin, the way they did it. But then it's got the, I think, 5-inch squares in the center that you work around in that. So I thought that would really be fun. I don't think they picked the best looking colors to go with it. I think that could be a much brighter, more cheerful quilt. or table on that, but I am going to take a look at it. I just want to read the instructions again. If this ends up being what I pick for the sew along in July, I hope to get that posted this week because what today's the first, so Wednesday I'll be the fourth, which means it'll be less than a month till we get there. Plus, even though I got a lot of fabric, I'm not sure that I have like the Christmas fabric I want for this. So I may end up having to go to the store to get some other fabrics to make this work out. So we'll see. But that's the pattern that I'm looking at for Christmas in July. I had thought about, I do have Donna and Fran's quick Christmas quilts, 3 yard quilt, but and then make a Christmas, so they have several Christmas books out, and I ended up buying all of them. But then at the end of the day, I was like, okay, so the books can get expensive. Do we really? I don't really want to try to pick a pattern from the book. Um, they had some free ones on their website, which is amazing, and I appreciate anytime these designers and pattern makers and that put out willing to give away their work, right? Because Lord knows it's a lot of work. But anyways, I ended up finding this, and I think I kind of like it, but I just want to read through it one more time before I commit to that. So be on the lookout for a video about that, and we will get that done. Jody says Russ is a superstar. I totally echo that. He is amazing. He causes me to spend money that I shouldn't spend, just like the other day. Missouri Star Quilt had an amazing sale on something. And 10 minutes later, I get a text. So Mr. Russ, again, being the enabler he is, sent me a text, encouraged me to buy something. So, yep, didn't need anything else. But you know what? It's fine because now I'm starting to take some of that stuff and use it for my holiday quilting bee and do giveaways in that with it, which works out because then it makes room for me to have more stuff. So, it's all good, as they say. Um, and else. Danielle says, "Oh no, we have to go shopping." Oh darn, could always take up with you. Tell you what, and I think I'm gonna go to. We have a store here called Arizona Quilt. I don't go there very often, but I like to go in occasionally. I have not been there for I think like 9 months, so I may drop in there. If not, I'll end up going to 35th, but probably going down to the main store just because it'll have better. But that's probably not going to happen until I get back from vacation. So we'll see. Oh, Danielle says try Donna Jordan. She has a lot of free patterns on Jordan fabrics. Yeah, I actually I did her Prairie Points table runners. Is the one that I just did. She kills me because at the end of the day, she didn't put out a pattern for it, but she walked you through the YouTube to do it. I did like 5 of those because I really kind of just had a good time doing those. It did take a while getting used to doing the prairie points and that, and it does take a lot of charm packs to do that. But I did like that, and I've always liked Donna Jordan's patterns. We're very fortunate. Katrina says, I started Christmas table runners before Christmas. I need to get them out and get them finished, right? It's just, that's the thing. When we were really running the wreath business and we were doing Pride and Proud Designs and really trying to keep up with the home decor stuff that we were selling, we were always 6 months out. So right now, I would be doing nothing but fall and Christmas and come August, I'd already be back into Valentine's, Mardi Gras, all that kind of stuff. So we were always 6 to 9 months out because if not, we couldn't get it on the site soon enough for people to sell. Judy says you crack me up, but I'm the same way. I have all I need. I have all I need, but need something for a new pattern. Guess we are all the same way, right? I think it is. I mean, it's kind of like an illness, right? Sorry, I think I'm even more dry than normal because of all the um, movement today. Mama Jan says, "Oh darn, Christmas fabric shopping. You cracked me up for sure. When do we leave?" Because Mama Jan was just here and she saw the new bookshelves and she's helping me put all these bolts of fabric on the bookshelves. But worse is that's not even the all the bolts that I just ordered. So I've got a lot of stuff coming in, but I don't have Christmas stuff coming in. I do, but it's not shipping till like late June or July. So I'll need it before then. BBMK says a lot of the quilt magazines can be borrowed online through the library app with a local library card. I do need to really go get the library card. We have a really super nice library here in the compound, and yet I have never gone and done it. Oh, see, Zaza says I pre-ordered the Tula Gray Works today. You go. I am so excited for you. I ordered mine a few weeks ago. I think they're going to be so much fun to work with. And again, I like Tula. I like a lot of her designs, but she certainly is not cheap, let me tell you. And they come out with so many, right? Why do you need 16 or 24 pieces within a collection, right? Can't we just, I mean, we can do 3 yard quilts with just three. So couldn't we do like six, where we could all afford it a little bit more? But I guess when you're making the money and have the following that Tula's got now, people want more. All right, what else? Sally says, Danielle, we could shop John's stash. Tell you what, the stash just keeps growing and growing and growing. If you all saw the video I posted the other day, I mean, I ended up buying a bunch of stuff the other day. It's like, oh my gosh. And then I'm into Matthew now on Mr. Domestics, and he's got some really cool different fabrics that I have not seen, and ended up adding those to the stash. And it's like, you've got to stop. I've got pieces starched. I call it starching, but I use the magic from from faultless starch, right? But I use the magic now to size up, starch out everything. They've been laying there for like 3 weeks, I think, and I don't know when I'm going to get that cut, but I got to get that cut so that I can start working on it. Yet I've got all this other stuff I need to work on too. So we'll get it all figured out. We always do. It's just too crazy. We all need to figure out times to get together. Katie says, I wish I had friends to sew with there. I tell you what, it does make such a um, difference, right? I mean, I have not been down to the club to sew. I don't know that I've gone this year because it's been too tough. There's so much going on and back and forth in that. So by the time I pack up and take down what I need just for 4 hours, it's like, it's worth fooling with all that for such a short period of time. Because half the time I'm down there, I end up socializing anyway. Sorry, I want to get my iron out so I can do binding. So at least I can be a little productive tonight. Um, but I have not been down to really just sew and work. I went down yesterday to give Mama Jan my my AccuQuilt piece, so she would have that, so we could put it on the she could use that as part of the display. And then ended up there was one of our members there, such a sweetheart yesterday. She's done quilting retreats for 5 years, and she sat down with me yesterday. And funny enough, we're using the same exact quilt retreat center. And so she was telling me things to look for, things, the way she's put some of the food together. I mean, she's just so open and sharing because, at the end of the day, we're all family. We're not competitors. I'm not trying to schedule something when she does 2 camps a year or retreats a year. And that's what I'm looking for, right? So, like New Year's Eve, I just want to be with a bunch of people that I can have my gym shorts on and maybe house slippers. But I hate to tell you, I'm from Kentucky, and most of the time I'm going to be barefoot. But just be able to sew, laugh, maybe have a drink or two, and just have some nice food and just get to enjoy being together. So we'll see how that works out. Katie says, and when the socialites get there in February, she'll be doing that too. Yeah, Katie says she's doing a 12-hour live, the second anniversary, and hoping to get creators to just drop in and tell about their channels and say whatever they want to learn. So we will have to figure that out. I see when it is, Katie. But if I'm going to be here and able to jump in, I would absolutely love to jump on. And I think you are a brave, brave, brave woman, because I tell you what, 3 hours, and even though Danielle was with me and we laughed and giggled and probably had people shaking their heads. We had the best time, but I just can't imagine what 12 hours would look like. But you are a brave woman, I tell you what. So that said, oh, June 5th. Let's figure out when that is. That's Saturday. Um, I will definitely send me a link, and I will try to make something happen. You would like to think, right, in a 12-hour period, I should be able to find some time to jump on. This is our last weekend home, so I do need to run and do some things on Saturday, because we've tried to make Saturday our run day so that we can just be home on Sunday. So I've got all of that. Um, as far as working with our you know, I've got to get packed and do all that. But we try to make Saturday more of the chore day now. So then we just stay in the compound on Sunday, which is really nice. Because I tell you what, after working all week, we're both exhausted. I feel bad. He's got to drive to the office 5 days a week, where I only have to go three. But I'm telling you guys, at my age and doing a 45-minute to an hour commute in Phoenix traffic, it definitely takes it out of me, just 3 days a week, and that poor guy has to do it 5 days a week. But it does make all the difference, and it is. That's why we try just to relax on Sunday. Now, what I'm told is my relaxing doesn't look very relaxing, and I don't know how to relax. But I can't help that I like to be busy. But being busy for me, cutting, sewing, doing this stuff, that is relaxing to me. It's fun. So I don't know. But I can tell you what's really fun is going to be at Myrtle Beach and being with two grandchildren, and I can't wait. We discussed we have not taken them, so my partner has not been East Coast really, and so of course never been to South Carolina, never been to a Atlantic beach, none of that. So that'll be fun as a first time. We went the first year we were there to the Ripley's Aquarium and thing, which was nice and it was fine. But to me, it's not really South Carolina, right? I mean, we have one of those here. And so we're actually going to take him to Gatorland. So I'm excited. I love to watch the Gators and that. And my daughter was up for it this year. The first last couple of years, she's like, I want the boy to be older, because my grandson can tend to be a handful. She doesn't think he listens very well, but I think he's just all boy, and he's always got a lot to do and a lot to say. And mommy gets in the way sometimes because he's got his agenda. So he's a complete and total 5-year-old. So I just love it. So she thinks he's old enough this year where he'll listen and just enjoy it. So that is the plan. So we will be at Gatorland one day. We always go to Boardwalk at the beach because I love me some Paula Deen. So I always come home. I have a butter magnet, which is awesome on my fridge because, I mean, it's not Southern if it's not full of butter. We usually go to Wahlburgers. It has a nice restaurant there, and we usually always go to Wahlburgers for lunch one day. Um, I just like Wahlburgers. I don't know what it is. My son-in-law wanted to eat at Paula Deen last year, but I'll be honest, I have never heard great things about her restaurant. I've always heard that it's, just a lot of butter, a lot of richness to it in that. So I don't know. Being a Southerner myself and that, I use some of her recipes. I love her mac and cheese recipe. I don't think you can make better mac and cheese, but I use hers as the foundation to get me started. And then John goes in and makes it John's mac and cheese because I use less butter than she calls for, and then I double up other things. And one of the things I did learn early on is that you want to use large elbow macaroni in her recipe because it takes that to really hold up in the crock pot. So I do that. So just fun things. Father's Day is coming up. My daughter asked me yesterday what I wanted for Father's Day. Um, so I gave her some ideas. All of that came, or I guess she asked me Friday. And then so she ordered everything off Amazon. It came yesterday. She's like, I just can't get used to Phoenix because she's lucky if she gets anything in 2 days anymore from Amazon. And she said, that's not even consistent like it used to be. So I was like, yeah, that's the difference not living in a real city. And but she got me a Hufflepuff because I am a Hufflepuff, according to the survey thingy that I did to find out what house I'm supposed to be in. And so I am a Hufflepuff. So she sent me a Hufflepuff plaque and she sent me a Hufflepuff wallet. So both of those are over in the curio now as I'm starting to build out some of that Harry Potter type collection. What I'd really, really like to do is I'd like to get some of the Legos because they have like like the street and Hogwarts and all of that you can get. But Lord have mercy, guys. I mean, you better have some money if you want to buy some of the Harry Potter stuff from Lego. It's like that is just crazy expensive, but I still think it would be really so cool to have. So we'll see. The problem is, like, they keep taking it away, right? I mean, so it's like, everything's like limited editions and that. So it's like, yeah, I don't, I have fabric money, so I have to be careful because if I buy Lego stuff, then that may mean I have to cut back on fabric. And Lord knows, John's not cutting back on his fabric. So, we got to pace ourselves. So we'll get it all figured out. All right. Oh, oh, Katie says it's July 5th, not June 5th. Oh, so you've got plenty of time to get things built up. So that's perfect. Um, yes, Zaza says it's a slippery slope. So interesting enough, I bought the grandkids the Duplo blocks when they were younger, and they loved them. But Duplo is very limited, and they don't have much variety really in that collection. And then I started them, even though they were too young, I started sending them some of the actual Legos, and they love them. And my grandson, even though he's 5, is doing the Legos and building them together, and they really like that family time spent doing Legos together. So I don't know, but I agree because when I went to Hallmark last year, they had a Lego store right there in Hallmark City, which was cool and it was fine and it was good to see it. But it was like just the price of Legos. I'm like, it's not your mama's. It's not the Legos that I grew up with. Let me tell you, um, they certainly have come a long way in price. Um, Katie says her kids grew up doing Legos. Now they do them as adults. Yes. So fortunately, my partner really doesn't. He enjoys doing them. He's a big old nerd, which is amazing. And so I tend to buy them, and then he tends to put them together. I have never been a Lego person. I just never had the patience for them, which is kind of interesting because you would think, how on earth do I quilt and get anything done quilting if I don't have the patience to do Legos? But I can't answer that question. I can just tell you what reality is for me. So we'll see. Taking a lot longer to iron this out in this little bitty wool mat. I forgot that this mat's not that big. I did get a new cutting mat for my cutting room, and I was so excited about that. And then we started looking this weekend, talking about how to rearrange the house to give John more space because John needs more space. And I really would like to look at enclosing my screened in porch that I just don't get to use enough. And it just stays so dirty because of the dust and that. So every time we want to use it, I've got to go out and scrub it down and vacuum it. I actually bought its own vacuum because it's a lot easier to clean it that way. And I thought, you know what? If I just had that room finished and put the windows and that in like it needs to be, then I could move my long arm out there. I could move everything else out there. And I'd really have a lot more space. Like I would have enough space that I could get more bookshelves that I would end up having to probably go shopping to, fill it up so it didn't look so empty. But what we did realize, as much space as that gains me, which honestly it would gain me probably about 800 square feet at least, um, that I probably would still keep this as the YouTube studio because the lighting and everything in here is just perfect. And so I don't want to get into um, having to put that type of lighting and everything back out there. So I would probably end up bouncing between the two. I can't get the seam open. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope you all have an amazing week coming up. Anything special? Anything going on? Oh yeah, what I meant to tell you is YouTube told me today, and I didn't know it. I don't know how. I just completely forgot. But today is my YouTube birthday. And so the channel itself is actually 2 years old today. So I am at 1,300 plus subscribers, which still just really makes me feel so blessed and honored. I just can't believe it. But I have been yakking on this channel for 2 years as of today. So I am very excited. Continuing on, uh, moving onward and upward and looking at hitting that 2,000 mark. 1,500, I guess, comes first, but just I'm so blessed to have the family that I do. Because let me tell you, my real family is leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm very fortunate to have met someone amazing, and pretty fortunate to have uh, very fortunate to have you all as part of my YouTube family. It means a lot to me, means a lot to us as a couple, and it's just nice to have something that has some sense and sensibility to it. So it's very sad how families can treat each other and how they can just handle different situations, and it is what it is. I choose not to have that in my life anymore, and I had to just make a decision that just for me personally and for my own well-being, it just wasn't worth it, and that's the conclusion I've come to. So, very fortunate to have an amazing daughter and get to spend time and be part of my grandchildren's life, and that seems to work for us. So that's what we're going to continue to do. So thank you all. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was funny. It popped up in the YouTube feed today because it's always telling us like how many subscribers you've got and who was new this week and all that kind of stuff. And then I've been trying to look at some of the new subscribers and some of the newer channels that I've been following. and reaching out to folks to get some of the new content creators on the channel to have someone to talk to and share some things with and do that. And so I thought it was funny that YouTube told me that my channel was 2 years old. It's hard to believe. I would probably be devastated and so embarrassed to go back and watch some of those videos. No telling what I said and what was going on. I know I've, of course, re recorded a new introduction um, since since the launch. I feel like I've kind of fallen into a not a routine, but a comfort level about not freaking out that am I going to have enough to talk about? Am I not going to have enough to talk about? And then knowing that I have such amazing chatters, it's all I can do to usually keep up with just the chat and what you all have got going on. Because I know you all have had a busy day. I was able to jump on Sean's live yesterday. I caught Russ live yesterday. Um, I caught Danielle live for a little bit yesterday. So I was on and off the YouTube all day. And I think it was Danielle that told me because the problem is I keep YouTube usually on and working, and then I forget because I have it on the big TV that I can't chat. And then I think it was Danielle. Somebody says, "Well, all you have to do is use your iPhone." Just I was like, "Oh, well, that would have been really smart." So, so now I'm trying to chat a little bit so people know I'm not just that creepy stalker that jumps on channels and watches things. So that has helped a little bit. So now people can see that I am on and got things going. So that always makes it fun too. So just a lot going on. I ready. I can tell you, I am ready to knock this week out. So I've got 9 work days technically between me and the beach. And so I am anxious to get the week started, to get the weeks done so I can get to the beach. I plan on just being down most of the time, not taking projects, not taking a lot of stuff to work on. Hopefully, work can survive a week without me because that is the intent. Because I really plan to unplug and disconnect for a while and either just lay on the beach, lay by the pool, um, just something. But I just want, I just really need the ability to kind of recharge. It's been such a busy year, been such a hectic year, and I still have a lot ahead of me and some things that I still need to deal with and work with. But I will get that done along with everything else. What I have learned is what I don't get done today, it's amazing. I had a new employee the other day goes, "Well, but I really wanted this and this done." And I said, "Let me tell you, the Keebler Elves is just a commercial because just don't worry about it. As long as my philosophy in HR, right? As long as everybody got paid, that's the main thing. Beyond that, pretty much everything else can wait till the next day." And I said, "Let me assure you, there's no such thing as the Keebler Elves. So when you go home tonight, no one's going to come in and jump on and log on and help in any way. So you don't have to worry. It will all be waiting there for you the next day to work on and accomplish and get done." So we'll see. But I'm anxious to get the bindings. I've had these sitting here that just needed pressing. So I'm really anxious to play with the binding and see how this turns out. I've got a couple of Halloween table runners in there. I've got a Christmas one that I don't, it was out of the AccuQuilt and I don't even remember when I did that. I think I did it this year. I think it was back in January or something, but I need to go back and even look to see when I did it. But I have found so much stuff that needs just binding um, that was already quilted. Then I got this one I want to quilt. And then I got all these other projects, and it's just like, guys, I just need time at home. And I worry that, like, if I, like, even if I was retired and could afford that right now, I don't know that the projects would get done because I do kind of tend to be a social butterfly. So I do really enjoy talking and doing that kind of stuff. So um, all that craziness because it just does make a difference. Oh, I'm betting. So I see Zaza says she gets insanely jealous over nothing. When I was ill, she was jealous. I got too much attention. Yeah, 5 times as fun. Yeah, I am betting. You all are talking about family drama. I found out today that apparently there's a team family and a team John, and so that's fine too. Because you know what, they're all back east. I don't have much to do with any of them anymore, and I just somehow I became the outcast, and I'm not sure how and when that happened, but I have learned that I am so much happier not dealing in um, engaging is the word I was looking for, right? Just let them have their crazy. I am not on special medicine. I don't have to take all those special pills. I don't have to have a counselor. I'm able to just, I have my own coping mechanism, and it's called YouTube and my YouTube family and quilting. Now, Jake, like I said, sometimes Jake wonders and he gets to hear a little language now and then, but you know what? He causes that himself, I think, over here, but it is all good. And so that makes all the difference. It just amazes me sometimes how people treat people, and it's like, just too much. Finished the last season of Hacks, so that was pretty cool. So apparently they're doing another season, so we'll see how that turns out. But tonight, I think after dinner and strawberry ice cream, we're going to watch Harry Potter 2. And so that'll be fun and something relaxing before I have to get packed up and ready for work on Monday. So, guys, I had no idea. Sorry, I wanted to finish this binding. I did not realize I already hit an hour that I have been sitting here just going on and on and on. I hope each of you have an amazing week. Um, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you would, please do those things that make the YouTube algorithm happy. Hit that thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Be nice to see a lot of new subscribers for my birthday, my YouTube birthday. But it is what it is. I appreciate each and every one of you. As always, thanks for being on tonight. Um, Katie says, "Are you going to participate in any June celebrations, John?" I don't know. We'll have to figure out what's going on. So I would definitely be up to doing some things for sure. Kelly says, "Found out my great nieces got engaged from pictures on Facebook." Yeah, see, it just family is just so strange to me, but it is what it is. So, guys, thanks for being on tonight. Thanks for listening to me rattle on. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you next Sunday. And as always, until next time, happy crafting.